Welcome to WRTR Real Talk Radio. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests.
And do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organizations or institutions. This podcast is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, financial, or professional advice.
While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, we make no representations or warranties of any kind, express or implied, about the completeness, accuracy, reliability, or availability with respect to the podcast or the information, products, services, or related graphics contained in the podcast.
Any reliance you place on such information is strictly at your own risk. In no event will we be liable for any loss or damage, including, without limitation, indirect or consequential loss or damage, or any loss or damage whatsoever arising from loss of data or profits arising out of or in connection with the use of this podcast.
By listening to WRTR Real Talk Radio, you acknowledge that you understand this disclaimer and agree to its terms. Enjoy the show.
WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs, original shows, music news, the hottest DJs from around the world.
So my edible should be kicking in any moment now, Lyric.
Good Lord have mercy. Well,
Right.
well. I don't know what to say about that. I can't do it.
You can't do it edible.
I bit one. No, I guess it's maybe like the brand, maybe, and maybe the kind that they use. Because I just got some new ones, and it's indica. Because sometimes I have trouble going to sleep. And let me tell you something.
They work wonders for sleep, like real talk.
Not for me. It made me hungry. It gave me the munchies. I started panicking a little bit. Like, it was way too much. And I took it maybe like, I want to say 1:00 p.m. a couple days ago. That bitch ain't kicking until 6:30.
Wow.
7:00. While I'm driving.
Oh wow. I've never.
I'm
I don't drive or operate heavy machinery or do anything important while if I'm gonna do that. Like,
First of all, I forgot I had bit it. I just bit it. I forgot I had bit it. And I'm on my way back home with my dinner from IHOP. And I'm just feeling weird. And I'm like, why the fuck am I so hungry? And then
Right.
I'm like, why do I feel so funny? And by the time I turned into my complex, I remembered. I was like, oh my gosh. It's that motherfucking edible I did earlier. I had forgot about it because I was like, this shit ain't work. This shit ain't do shit. Like, what the fuck?
Let me tell you, for
That
years,
motherfucker said, oh, bitch, we're here.
right?
We
And
ain't going nowhere.
listen, for years, I never took edibles or weed even, because people would smoke, but then they would be there themselves. They wouldn't be like you see on TV and stuff. Like, TV always exaggerates shit, but I didn't know that then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at different people, and then the ex that I had when we first met many years ago, well, he ate a brownie, but he ate like a whole brownie, and nobody told him that there was weed in it. So he was sitting there fucked up for like days afterwards, and I didn't really take it seriously. I'm like, you're exaggerating, you're this, that, and the third. But as a person, like when I first did it and I kind of ate almost a whole brownie, I ate like half of one, I see how it got there.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I did not know.
You up. It is not a game.
I was really legit annoyed. But anyways, inside of another week here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Welcome. Thanks for joining us again. My name is Marcus Smoot.
And my name is Miss Lyric Bravado. Hey, y'all.
It's April. You ready for Easter, Lyric?
Yes, I guess.
That did not sound
I don't
convincing.
know.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Easter, okay, what does Easter mean when you're an adult? Because, I mean, I get the religious aspect. Okay, yeah, okay. But just, I don't see many people our age group celebrating Easter or really doing much anymore. I haven't in the past few years, to be honest.
I have, but my mom, she keeps leaving out what I be wanting in my adult Easter basket, so I don't
Adult.
be excited no more.
Oh Lord, what do adult Easter baskets
I
look
sure
like?
do. I demand it. I demand it.
What do they look like? I mean, same thing, but like with, I don't know, weed. Since we talking,
No, my
oh,
mom is a good Christian woman. She ain't leaving no weed
word,
or alcohol for that matter, because that's what I be asking for. Instead,
word,
she give me apple cider. She give me socks. She give me, cozy stuff.
word,
But
Mama Dorado.
I don't want that. I want a bottle of tequila in my adult basket. I want what I want, Mom.
Okay,
I like the chocolate and all of that, but I would like a bottle of alcohol, please, and thank you, or some wine that I like, red wine preferably, sweet red, if you will.
right.
Yeah.
So, how has this week influenced your mood? How are you?
You know what? I have
No.
actually been okay this week.
Have you?
I've
That's
been
good to hear.
very chill.
Last week you was about to take off heads.
Oh yeah, I was gonna rip everybody's heads off. It's a twinge of that, really. I won't go into it, to protect my kid, my oldest, but he told me of a situation where, his shady ex tried to basically get him Jonathan Majors.
Okay. Now I'm talking about him later too, but go ahead.
Yeah. And I ain't like that, so I said a few choice things, and it's up, honestly, because I'm Mama Bear 24/7. I don't care how old my kid get. That's still my child.
Right.
And anytime that he tells me that there's an issue, then we all gonna have a motherfucking issue. You hear me? And this particular incident was very serious, something that literally could have changed the trajectory of his life, and it's got me so heated to the point where I want to put hands and feet on this little hoe.
Wow.
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 You know what? I ain't protecting.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. So,
okay.
He was at a bar with his friends. His ex-girlfriend was there, and unbeknownst to him, he didn't know she was there, but she was also there with a friend of hers.
Okay.
Who happens to be a white woman. Okay. White little girl. And so he said everything was chill. They was hanging out. He wasn't really paying her no mind. And I guess as the night progressed, the white girl started getting a little flirtatious with him.
I love this.
On his lap and do all this stuff. And she, tried to get him to,
be intimate. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And he was like, oh no. And I'm so grateful. I got so emotional when he told me this, because it made me so proud that he had enough sense to do what he did. He was like, no, Mom. He said she wasn't on that energy before she started drinking, so I pushed her off of her, because
work.
I'm not trying to, go down that road with anybody. So he was like, no. But it was so crazy, because I noticed that right after I basically told her no and I carried her, she went over to the ex-girlfriend and was kikiing and laughing and talking with her for the rest of the night. How crazy is that? I said, son, she tried to backdoor you. She tried to set you up. That was a setup. I hope you know. I said she most likely told that girl to go ahead and try to get him to go, do something with you, so they could use the opportunity to lie on you.
Okay.
I'm not playing that type of game with
I wouldn't
nobody. So there will be some consequences for this, because what you won't do is continue to stalk my kid after he made it clear that he doesn't want to be with you no more. So now you're trying to tarnish his reputation. you spreading rumors about him, talking about he cheated on you and that's why y'all not together. You're trying to tarnish his name and his character. Girl, like, you're really asking for it. And I was like, did you not tell him that your mother was crazy? Like, that she goes, like, she's not the one nor the two. Like, did you not tell her that? He was like, no, not really. I said, well, that's, she gonna fuck around and find out then, I guess.
Well, the stories I can tell you about that, but I won't today. Instead, I will tell you what I want to be like when I grow up. So when I grow up, I want to be like 39-year-old Dr. Jermaine Worrell, who on April 1st of this year has become the youngest HBCU president in history.
Work.
So while Cory Booker was delivering his filibuster speech on the Senate floor, Dr. Worrell was also making history. According to Because of Them We Can, the milestone is powerful. Savannah State being the oldest public historically black university in Georgia, it was like the way the students welcomed him that truly set the tone for the celebration. So they said in a moment that felt straight out of the Jennifer Hudson show. Have you seen those videos where they're like, singing and stuff? They said the students serenaded Dr. Worrell at a campus building with surprise performance, giving him the ultimate HBCU welcome, one filled with joy, pride, and a sense of shared purpose. Worrell's path to the presidency is rooted in decades of experience and impact. Prior to this particular appointment, he served as president of Augusta Technical College, where he increased student enrollment by more than 20% in 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and he brokered transformational partnerships with local universities, even Amazon, the city of Augusta. Yeah, work that earned him his accolades, like he got the leadership award from Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. Work today, black man, because I like the fact that not that 39 is younger, but I like the fact that we are seeing younger leaders. It's like we typically only get accolades when we get a little bit old. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to see a younger generation with such poise and just accomplishments. I'm truly inspired by that.
I love it.
So, yep, work today, black man.
Well, we must be on the road because I'm going to speak about another black man who's doing great things. When I grow up, I want to be like Nicholas Watson from Texarkana, Arkansas, who has autism and ADHD and recently graduated with a record-breaking 4.8 GPA, defying expectations that he would struggle with reading and math. He was accepted to not one, not two, but 45 colleges.
Golly.
And awarded over $1.5 million in scholarships.
I'll take my coins and your degree, please. Thanks.
Period. Along with his academic achievements, Watson excels in sports like soccer, track, and basketball. He chose Harding University on a basketball scholarship and will study electrical engineering with 64 college credits.
That is incredible. And wow. To overcome an obstacle, like, any kind of neurological or learning disability or anything, to overcome that on top of a 4.8, you said? Gee, work today.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there struggling, reading shit and eating Cheetos and shit. Okay. Anyways. All right, so you ready to answer some letters?
I absolutely am. Let's get to it.
All right, let's get it popping after this. We'll be right back.
America loves firsts until a black woman actually wins something. Then it turns into full-blown panic mode. Meet Carol Moseley Braun, the first black woman elected to the U.S. Senate, and why her victory made the system show its teeth. 1992, America was busy patting itself on its back, calling it the Year of the Woman. But Carol Moseley Braun wasn't here for token celebrations. She ran for Senate in Illinois. She beat an old white man who thought he had a lifetime lease on that seat and shook the whole establishment awake. The first black woman in Senate, the first woman to represent Illinois, only the second black senator since Reconstruction. Amazing. So you'd think they throw a parade, right? No, they sharpened their knives. That's what they did. From the moment she stepped foot in the Capitol, it was clear. Her existence alone was a threat. They nitpicked every move she made, turned minor slip-ups into major scandals, screamed about ethics, all while ignoring the mess happening right under their dusty desks. She wasn't even allowed to make the same basic mistakes white male senators made, like, every day. Carol had to walk a tightrope that they lit on fire. And when she pushed back against racism, sexism, and their political games, they painted her as angry, unprofessional, and out of control. That sounds familiar to me. Does it sound familiar to you? After just one term, they did what they always do. They locked the door behind her and pretended that she was never there. Carol Moseley Braun didn't just break barriers. She shattered illusions. She showed that a Black woman could walk into the halls of power without asking for permission. And the system, well, it spent the next decade trying to erase the blueprint that she left behind. She wasn't a failure. She was a warning. And trust me, they heard it loud and clear. Say her name. Carol Moseley Braun.
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would if it were lyric.
What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Lyric Bravado, and I'm back with my segment, If It Were Lyric, where I talk about your relationships, situationships, and friendships, and I give my 2 cents about it. Yeah, let's get into it. If you guys want to continue to get your advice, questions answered by yours truly, please send them to lyricbravado@gmail.com. Now, let's get started.
Oh, you want me to read this one, or you got one?
Sure, you can go ahead.
Hey, Lyric. I hope you all are doing well. I've been going back listening to your other podcasts, and y'all crack me up. I was turned on to the show by my own twin sister, so I know she's listening. Just say Polly Pocket, and she will know this is me.
Ooh.
And I want her to know it's me because I have a question for you.
Okay.
That same sister is well aware that she lives in a sundown town here in America.
Ooh.
You know what a sundown town is, right?
I sure do.
Okay. Historically, we have all been close and would spend holidays together until a little after the pandemic, where she married. When she married this man, none of the family knew too much about. Since then, our family gatherings have shifted, and I haven't had the chance to visit her and her husband in their new home, mainly because they live in a sundown town. He's Caucasian, and I don't have an issue with that, but this is his hometown, and it just isn't a good look for Black people to pull up visiting relatives. I'm wrestling with whether I should feel guilty about not visiting, especially since I know the history of where they live. I worry about her safety and my own comfort level in that environment. I don't want her to feel abandoned or hurt by my absence, but at the same time, I'm not sure how to navigate these feelings without causing tension. If it were you, would you be mad at yourself for not making the trip, or is it reasonable to prioritize my own feelings about visiting a sundown town? I really want to hear your thoughts on the situation and how I should approach it with her. Should I just communicate my concerns, or is it best to just let it be for now? Because she knows good and damn well that's the reason no one has been there to visit her, but she acts like some sort of a victim. I hate to be that cutthroat, but she hasn't responded, and I know she listens to this show. LOL. Thank you so much for your help. I know I chose violence. Love y'all and her, honestly. Signed, Polly Pocket.
Okay, Miss Polly Pocket, here's what you do. You definitely tell her how you feel. Well, you really don't have to because you just did, but hey, sister, I know you're listening. Hey, girl, hey.
You're welcome.
All right, so look at here. I'm going to talk to both of y'all right now. Y'all need to plan a girls' trip, a family trip.
All right.
That way, you're still visiting your sister. You're still getting that quality time.
Right.
But your boundaries are also satisfied as well. If you don't feel comfortable visiting that town, you should not be forced to. And she should understand, especially when it's coming from a place of love and you're concerned about not only just her safety, but yours as well. We get it that she's attached herself to her husband to the point where, you know, she's ignoring this. But this is something that has been going on for eons for Black people. And it is not safe to visit, drive through, let alone live there. Because let's be honest, the moment something happens and you piss off the wrong person in this town, it might be curtains for your sister. Who knows? Like, I don't want to put that on anybody, but these are the things that are happening in America in these small towns.
Right. I had fun at game night, but the neighbors were sitting there, shaking nooses at me outside their windows. Like, and what?
It's unfortunate that people still have these thoughts and views about people who do not look like them, but this is the reality that we are in.
It's strange. It is so strange.
It really is. So what you have to do to offset that is compromise. There's no reason why you can't visit each other outside of where she lives and spend that quality time elsewhere. And, that might give her some peace of mind, and she may have a chance to get away from home and see what things are for what they really are. I experienced that, when I was in a situation. No, not the same thing, but just I'm using it as an
I got you.
I experienced that sometimes when you're away from home, you get a chance to really think about things, and you can have a clearer mind about certain things. Like if you're home 24/7, you get so used to your surroundings that, you get comfortable. Sometimes taking yourself out of the surroundings that you're in and being placed somewhere else or being somewhere else can clear your mind, and you can have a more open mind frame about what it is that you really need to do, or see things for what it is and hear what people are really trying to say. And I think you planning this family vacation will give her the opportunity to do that, and maybe she'll be more open to your concerns. That's it. That's basically it. That's basically what I would do. I would definitely plan to see her somewhere outside of the home and area, because of my comfort level matters too. Like, you can respect how she feels, but she also has to respect how you feel as well. And this is a common ground idea to where both parties are satisfied and you both get what you want. So I hope that you guys heard what I said and you take that into consideration, and hopefully maybe y'all have a little Vegas trip, or go to New York, or go to LA, or do something fun with each other outside of the sundown town that she lives in.
Yep.
All right, so let's see the next one. It says, "Dear Lyric, I want to remain anonymous for the protection of my friend. And here's why. I hooked up with my straight friend, and I'm not sure what to do. For context, I am an out and proud bisexual man.
Work.
I invited my friend, let's call him George, over last weekend. His girlfriend, who honestly sucked, had just left him, so the plan was to order pizza, get faded, watch movies, and just, catch up. But the weed that I brought was a little stronger than advertised, and we were pretty fucked up after finishing a joint. The beers didn't really help either. We ended up talking about him and his ex's sex life and how it was pretty bad from beginning to end. And then we just started talking about sex in general. He kept asking a bunch of questions about gay sex, and eventually the talk and the weed got me kind of hard, and he noticed. He asked if he could go down on me to see what it was like. And
okay. Turn this off. Turn this off. This is a gay porn. Stop that. This is literally how most of these new age gay porn start. It's like, the straight boy, his heart is broken. Oh, I fucked my friend's man. Ooh, I'm so bad.
Well, they ended up doing it. Sure. And the next day, he ended up not being there. I called him. He didn't pick up. I texted him. He never responded. If I had to guess, he's embarrassed. I don't want to hurt him. And if this was just him experimenting, then that's fine. I was a safe person and he trusted me. And I guess maybe he decided that this wasn't for him. I'm just so scared that he hates me now. The only way I know he's alive is that he's been posting workout stuff on Instagram. I want to give him his space, but I also want to know
How was that at?
know what his feelings are now.
Right.
What should I do? The last thing that I did was sent him a lengthy text basically saying that I know that he wanted his space, but I did want to hear from him, and we were friends for a long time, and I don't want this to change anything. What should I do? My best friend for 8 years. I've never been more heartbroken.
I'm sorry, we're not laughing at you, losing your best friend. I'm laughing at the situation.
This situation is wild.
No, it is not. It's actually very common. But go ahead.
It's interesting to me that hold on, let me gather my thoughts. Okay, this is what I will say. Give him his space. You've done what you've needed to do. You've reached out. No pun intended, but now the ball is in his court.
Right, it's back. Let us know the deets. Whose court was it in? Was it?
Might be. There are two. Well, there are numerous things that could be going on in his mind, but I'll name just two. One, he might be embarrassed that he did it or ashamed. Or 3, he might have actually liked it and now does not know how to process these feelings.
Actually, both of those can be true.
Whatever the case may be, you need to give him the space so he can process it. There is no time limit. You know that he's safe. He's not self-harming. He's not in any danger. You see that, he's been posting. He's fine. But he needs this time to find out not only what he likes, but who he is. And you were the person that he chose to have this interaction with, because yes, he was comfortable enough to talk to you about it, let alone, carry out the act. And also he felt safe enough, to express himself to you in this way. Now, friendship-wise, y'all have crossed the line. Let's just leave it at that. Y'all have crossed the line. It's not going to be the same. I'm not going to say that you cannot be friends after this, but it's definitely will be changes. Because once you become intimate with someone, it just does something to the friendship. It does. And even though, he may not have feelings for you, it sounds to me like you used to have feelings for him, because in the beginning of your letter, you kind of said that you always thought he was attractive. So, and then the text that you read, which I didn't read because it was rather lengthy, it leads me to believe that as well. The best thing that you can do right now is just give him his space. When he's ready to come around, he will make that decision to come around and have a conversation with you. Other than that, you've done what you've needed to do as a friend, which was to reach out, let him know how you felt. You communicated with him how you felt and why you're saying what it was that you said. Now it's up to him. So I would leave it at that. You've done your part.
You really have. And I mean, I'll, just go back to your letter where you said that you are very comfortable and out. For a lot of people, one of the things that you have to realize is sexuality and the way that people are treated as a result of sexuality. Like the whole conversation around it is usually taboo, and it's usually involving a lot of kind of feelings, and people are less comfortable to embrace things, even if they like them, even if they don't like them. It can lead to lots of confusion, like Lyric said. So just, as you navigate your own feelings, because right now you can only control you. So what I would say is, as a person that actually has gone through something like this, that's the only reason I'm tapping in. I usually, this is her segment. But as someone who has gone through it, I will tell you that you cross the line. Your friendship is going to be different to a degree. But what I will say is just step back. Let that man navigate his feelings on how he feels about whatever's going on, because you really don't have any influence over that. And you can't bombard him because this is his shit to work out. But, friend, we've all been there and done that at some point in time. My heart goes out, but it is almost damn near it's a rite of passage. So, sorry, Miss Lyric. I didn't mean to step on your toes or nothing. I was just trying to give a little insight from a gay that's been there.
Hey, no toes taken in the process, because what you did was confirm everything that I said. So that just means I give good advice. And if you guys want to continue getting your advice, please send your stories and your questions to my email at lurkbravado@gmail.com. And until next time, bye.
Let's troll this timeline, Miss Lyric. Coming on next. We'll be right back.
Oh no, violent tornado causes destruction in Arkansas town, but y'all ain't getting FEMA checks? Whoever could have voted for this? What's that? Severe storm brought flooding to Tennessee, and y'all ain't getting FEMA checks? Who voted for that? Oh no, an extraordinary 226 tornado warnings have been issued in Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Ohio, Indiana, and y'all ain't getting FEMA checks? Whoever could have possibly voted for that? Search me.
Time to troll.
Alrighty, niggies, we black. And let's get into this timeline. Miss Lyric, what you got first?
Let's talk about feet.
Oh no, why?
Because that's what Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child had to put on her flight home.
Well,
somebody
put on her feet?
Somebody had their stinking corn ashy feet on her seat. Like, you know how by the window.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So she's on a flight. I don't know if she's coming or going, but she's on her flight, right? And she's in, of course, business class, as she should. Yeah, love that for you. But somebody had taken off not just their shoes, but their socks too. And at the peripheral, she sees feet. They damn near touching her arm. The feet is like by her armrest.
No.
So she takes a picture of it, and the caption reads, "I promise you better get your foot from me." This is happening now on my flight, and I'm crying real tears. And she starts talking about how she's on the flight and everything's cool, she's comfortable. So she looks out the corner of her eye and she sees somebody's foot all invading her personal space. I said, "Girl, I know you lying, but let me tell you, the comments had me sick.
I bet they did.
I tell you, y'all are some trifling ass niggas. There were so many people who was saying they would have tickled it.
Yeah.
Somebody said I would have spilled my hot coffee on them on accident.
Now that Yep.
Somebody said this is why they don't you can't bring lighters on the plane, because their whole foot would have been on fire.
You know that.
It was a whole situation. Somebody said Destiny feet filled. I said, y'all is coming up with different feet jokes for the names of their songs and albums. I said this poor girl had to smell feet her whole flight.
No. Let me tell you, it wouldn't have been me.
You better get your motherfucking stinking ass feet from around.
You have 5 seconds.
You got 10 toes from feet from
this foot.
From me.
And exactly. And at some point, I am going to start taking toes. Something's gonna happen. These toes are about to go.
Spraying with hand sanitizer, anything. Child.
That is ignorant. And speaking of disgusting things, Trump directs Department of Justice to investigate former administration officials who criticized him. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. He is weaponizing the Department of Justice against his personal political enemies. President Trump signed an executive order. This is according to PBS.org. And CNN and MSNBC, everybody's been talking about this. President Trump signed executive orders Wednesday targeting 2 former aides who criticized him. Escalating his retribution campaign, the president directed the Justice Department to investigate Miles Taylor, a former Homeland Security official, and Christopher Krebs, a top security official. Both were appointees in Trump's first term. And, listen, so Christopher Krebs, he only said, the only thing this man said that the 2020 election results, he confirmed. He was like, yeah, they were solid. And Trump was like, no, girl. You said something against me. He wants yes men around him. He wants people. Nobody can say anything that he does not believe to be true, even if it isn't true. And he is using the Justice Department to go after these people. Just imagine what that means for the trickle down for the rest of us. Donald Trump, this is his quote. I think this is from the transcript. I think it's a very important case, and I think he's guilty of treason, if you want to know the truth. But we will find out. This guy Krebs was saying, "Oh, the election was great. It was great. That was a very corrupt election. They used COVID to cheat, and we're going to find out about this guy too." He's saying that they used COVID to cheat the 2020 election. Make that make sense.
I don't know why he just can't get over it and get over himself. Like, you lost. You fucking lost. Get over it. Why are we still talking about this shit?
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's literally 5 years later, and you like, so, about them 4 years ago, I actually won. Girl, we don't care.
He's obsessed.
He's something. It's a lot of mental stuff going on. It's a whole cocktail of mental shit going on right there, and it is radiating to these white people around him, his enablers. All right, what you got? Your turn.
Speaking of Trump.
Oh, no.
A federal judge refuses to dismiss the Central Park Five's defamation case against President Trump. And for those who do not know and have been living under a rock, the Central Park Five are 5 young men who are exonerated after spending more than a decade in prison for the 1989 rape and beating of a white woman, who was jogging.
Right.
U.S. District Judge Wendy Beadlestone in Philadelphia denied Trump's motion to dismiss in a brief Thursday night order. The 5 men sued Trump last fall during the presidential election campaign. They accused him of making false and defamatory statements about them during the September 10th debate in Philadelphia with then Vice President Kamala Harris. Trump misstated key facts of the case when Harris brought up the matter, saying they said they pled guilty. And I said, well, if I pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person, ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled we're not guilty. In a statement, the Five's lawyer, Shannon Spector, said that they are gratified by the court's ruling and thorough analysis and look forward to the discovery, trial, and ultimate vindication of these 5 fine men. And with that being said, get your money, baby. Get your motherfucking coin. Because we can always run them tapes back. You definitely said that. They have a case. And it's curtains for your wallet, sir. And I love that for them.
So do I. I really do. Let's see. I was going to talk about Jonathan Majors, but it's going to be lengthy if you want to give another. Or do you have another? Because let me tell you. All right, because pop culture this week for me has been a no. Okay, so have you heard about Keke Palmer? Supposedly, she was supposed to have been interviewing Jonathan Majors. Did you hear about that?
I heard a little something about that. I skipped it though. But what's
Yeah, it's on her show, Baby, This is Keke Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
And she had announced it, I think last week or the week before, that on April 8th, that he was supposed to have been on her show. Well, I pulled up in my phone, according to the Griot, headline, Keke Palmer pulls Jonathan Majors episode from podcast after backlash. After teasing an episode featuring Jonathan Majors, Keke Palmer appears to cancel the actor's appearance altogether. Now, I knew you and I, would be revisiting this whole Jonathan Majors convo, and I'm glad it panned out this way. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, in a recent article from the Griot, Keke Palmer forced backlash after she featured actor Jonathan Majors in an episode of her podcast. The controversy arose due to Majors' legal issues, including allegations of assault and domestic violence, which have attracted significant media attention. Following the negative reactions from her fans and the public regarding her decision to host him, Palmer decided to pull the episode from her podcast. Keke Palmer expressed her intention to create a space for open conversations, but the backlash has prompted her to reconsider the implications of having a guest who is currently involved in such a serious legal matters. The situation highlights the complexities faced by public figures when navigating relationships and collaborations in the context of ongoing legal controversies. By removing the episode, Palmer aimed to address the concerns raised by her audience and demonstrate sensitivity to the gravity of the allegations against Majors. The decision reflects a growing awareness, among creators, yada, yada, yada. Here's where I stand on this, and I want to be clear of my issue, because I don't think I've made it clear before. Do you have anything to say before I go into this rant?
I just don't understand, because she already came out and said that she lied about it. So why is everybody still on him about it?
Well, because that's not what she said. I mean, no, she did not say that she lied about it. I'm on ABC News right now. Jabari's lawyer said the pair settled out of court. He says, quote, "We are happy to announce that the lawsuit Grace filed against Jonathan Majors was successfully settled," attorney Brad Edwards said in a statement to ABC News. Quote, "It took tremendous courage for Grace to pursue this case. We are happy to have helped her close this chapter favorably so that she can move forward and begin and finally heal." She never said that he didn't do it. She just settled out of court for the defaming and all that other shit. This is my issue. Keke's decision to interview Jonathan Majors, it already off the bat shot a red flag up with me because the conversation was supposed to be about accountability and the message about accountability. So why are we talking to Jonathan Majors? Because he's not been held accountable to anything. This is the message that it sends regarding domestic violence, especially with the way I see people so quick to jump and defend not just black men, but any men convicted of crimes. Now, Keke herself, she's had her controversial moments in the past that I'm not really interested in rehashing, but this latest decision, when she was like, I'm gonna interview Jonathan Majors, I had to question her values, because at this point, I must consider two possibilities. Either Keke doesn't genuinely care that Jonathan Majors has been accused of beating a woman, or she was financially incentivized to conduct this interview, prioritizing the money over the actual domestic violence victims. Now, given her numerous endorsements and public appearances, she's been in commercials for Monopoly and all this other shit. It's hard not to think that her financial gains play a role in these choices. She says, and Keke herself has said that she's been a victim of domestic violence before. So if you've been a victim of domestic violence yourself, I kind of struggle to understand how she could sit down with somebody accused of domestic violence and then engage in discussions about accountability. Feels kind of dismissive to the countless people that watch her show and suffer in silence. Like, I support survivors. I do. I value community. I want to support survivors. I find it troubling that Keke and anybody else would like prioritize her career over the voices of those affected by abuse. And I want to be clear, I don't know Jonathan Majors personally. I don't feel compelled, like I'm not personally, I don't have any beef with him. And I'm not saying that there isn't redemption beyond anything that you do out here.
It ain't.
But what do you mean? It's not redemption?
Hell no, it's not. Not for no black man.
So
in
Hollywood,
out here, are you kidding me? What you have that X on your back?
Yeah. I'm not, and that's the point. I'm not saying that he has to die, but what I'm saying is that he ain't got to be all over everybody's blockbuster film every goddamn week either. He doesn't. Go out here, get a job like everybody else that is falling on their ass. But for us to sit here and have this like campaign of redeeming these, oh well, he didn't really do it and he's a great guy. That's not what she said. They put out that information, bet on the fact that people were going to read the fact that the case has been dropped, which everybody did. They read the case dropped. Oh, Jonathan Majors is cool. We cool. Oh, well, redemption and accountability. And he talking about, oh, well, it's all in God's hands and all this shit. Like, people do this shit on a regular basis and we enable it. We do, because we continue to celebrate. They're all over our goddamn TV screens and movie screens because we allow them to be, because nobody's actually holding him accountable, or anybody else for that matter. Shit, look at this nut in the goddamn White House. So that is how I feel about that. So yeah, I was quite happy to hear her decision to pull his interview. I think she interviewed Cash Doll instead. So yeah, Keke, work.
Oh, I love me.
Because I was about to side eye you, girl. You was about to get the chop. Because I don't do that.
You about to get chopped?
You got anything else?
Let's see. Do we really care about Kanye?
No, we do not care about Kanye.
Beyonce.
Nope, we don't care about Kanye. We don't care about Candace Owens trying to rebrand herself too. No.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, she back talking about she a nigga now. No. Just like Jonathan, girl, stay over there. Goodbye.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, Megan Thee Stallion released the teaser for Coachella.
Did she?
And I'm here for it. I can't wait. I am rooting for this girl.
I do like Megan. I do.
I watched her little documentary on, I think it was Prime, Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. And I think people tend to forget that these artists are human too.
They are.
And they go through shit just like, people who are not in the spotlight. And
that's true.
People tend to forget that because all they see is a pretty face. All they hear is music. All they see is her shaking her ass or whatever. But they don't know what type of thing she had to go through to get to that point. They don't know, the mental stress and depression that, some of these artists be going through. To be even able to write the music that they put out there in the world. Like, they go through real shit. And I'm so happy that she finally has people around her that she can trust, that have her best interest, because she could have easily turned into another Kanye. She lost her mother, her only parent.
She couldn't have turned into no Kanye. I think that's a one-time deal there.
No, but I'm saying
that's
she could have.
Specific cocktail.
No, it could have. Honestly, depression, it can
not turn you into a coon.
Damage and really break you. And honestly, I'm just using him as an example because he's on the lowest spectrum of things, where that's the absolute worst that you can get. When you lose a parent, but she came out on top to me, and she kept pressing forward, and now she's doing bigger and better things, and she Of course, she still has Megan hate train, but she's not letting that stop her, and she's pushing forward, and I love that for her. So I'm looking forward to see what she does at Coachella. I can't wait for the performance. Everybody thought that her career was over when she decided to not stand for the Nicki Minaj bullying season that she was in. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see let's see what she does.
Yeah, I do. I really stand Megan a lot, and there's just something about her that is authentic, and it's different from what we've seen already. It's a nice change. Like, I love these artists like her, Doechii, Janelle. Janelle was just at what is it? The Black Nerd Con, Blurred. Tiffany saw my sister. She saw her in person at that very con.
Okay.
So it's just shit like that I see, that these artists are doing, that are attracting different kind of crowds. You see more people speaking out and more people having representation and just knowledge, and more people find out more things. Oh, wow, I didn't even know I would be interested in video games and nerd shit. Oh, well, you know what? I watch this all the time. I didn't know that there was a con for it. That kind of shit. That just kind of makes for community, and it's those interactions that generate business and create wealth and create growth and things of that nature, and knowledge, and we got this fucking nugget trying to tear it all down.
Yep.
So that's all for trolling the timeline this week.
I would think so. Let's move on. We don't care about anything else.
We so shady. All right, unseasoned behavior up next.
Let me pause my movie. Let me just point out, of all of the over 1,200 protests we done seen, right? They're saying over a few million people have participated in protests across the nation. Let me just say that out of all of these protests, I have not seen not one person getting tear gassed. I have not seen anybody getting womp womp with the batons. I have not seen any lines of the SWAT team lined up approaching people that are marching the streets. As a matter of fact, I heard that in Dallas, the police shut down the roads to allow the people to walk over there where the JFK incident happened, the grassy knoll and the depository. Yeah, they shut down the streets to allow the protests to continue, to allow the people to walk on down them roads. So when you hear Black people saying, the ones who decided to protest in other ways, like protesting by not being on the front lines, remember that this is why. Had it not been majority white people marching, would that have still been the outcome? Like, serious question. Don't lie, you know the answer. And this is why we said that this wasn't for us. It is okay that some people went. Okay, that's fine. But it is great that majority of us stayed home and watched TV, while simultaneously having already been doing protesting through other avenues. Because y'all act like marching is the only way to protest. Just remember, this is why the outcome would have been very different. And we all know it. And if we're being real, it's not our jobs. It is not our jobs to dismantle white Christian nationalism and white supremacy. We didn't create it, bitch. We did not create it. We don't benefit from it. So it's not our jobs to dismantle. It has to be dismantled from within by the very people that created it and benefit from it inherently. That's them same people marching. As you should. I'm so happy. I'm so happy y'all showed the fuck up while we sat the fuck down.
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
So this week, I wanted to just touch on what the Republicans, or the Republicans, have been up to, because a lot of us know is bad, but not necessarily how bad. And I know this segment can be a toss-up of my feelings about the week mixed with facts. Today is facts, just straight facts. In the past week, the congressional Republicans have done so much damage to Americans and the way we operate this bitch. But I've broken it down to what, in my opinion, seems to be the top 5 most harmful things that have been passed. Number 1, they passed their budget that will add trillions to the national debt and cuts almost $1 trillion in healthcare. This is important because, bitch, where all the money going?
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of the spending goes to tax giveaways to the wealthiest people in America. Hello. Number 2, they pass a SAVE Act, which will make it harder for millions and millions of Americans. Instead of making it easier to register to vote, they're making it harder for people to register to vote, particularly women and those serving abroad. For example, if your driver's license doesn't match your birth certificate, like many married women's don't, it could potentially block you from voting altogether. So you may be Lyric Johnson on your birth certificate, but because your married name is Lyric Bravado, guess what? When it comes to the polls, you may have some trouble getting the ability to be able to register to vote. And with all of these programs and government offices that have been seriously limited or closed down altogether, guess what? Number 3, while we were all upset and rolling our eyes at tariffs and all of that bullshit, them bitches passed a bill to endorse tariffs and to strip Congress's power to curb the president's tariff authorities in any way. No guardrails, just a big stinking ass orange stain making all the calls. All of that. Number 4, they passed a bill stripping the power of federal judges. Just like Lyric said in the last segment, all of these federal judges have been ruling against Trump because what they're doing is unconstitutional. So instead of complying with the Constitution of the law, this bill would undermine federal judges and limit their rulings to their local jurisdictions. But these are federal judges ruling on federal matters. You get it? You get it? You see what's happening? So number 5, this one is the cruelest out of all of them that I read. And, perk up, especially if you balling on a budget, perk up. These gremlins have passed a bill to jack up overdraft fees intentionally. So, and I think it's safe to say that many of us have had some bad days with banking and maybe splurged a little when we shouldn't have. What this bill means is that on your worst day, the very worst day that you can't pay all your bills and you overdraw your account for whatever reason, now your fees and bills could possibly be $100. They eliminated the cap on overdraft fees. Why? So that the people at the top make more money. This is how they do it. The only way the Democrats are going to stop them is to get a few Republicans to join them. A few in the Senate, a few in the House. That's it. But for all of us, we need voices to help shift the public opinion so that we can get the support we need on this craziness. This is where we come in as a people. We don't have the option to just sit back and not care anymore. We can't just leave it alone or hope for the best. These bitches literally want to turn all of us into their own personal banks. And don't even let me start talking about how Trump has offered the people in Greenland each $10,000, our taxpayer money, to get them to be okay with the fuck shit he's trying to pull over there. Baby, we are cooked.
We're fucked.
Listen, it's interesting how literally in every action movie, white people are depicted as these unstoppable heroes. But living in 2025 America today, I am seeing quite the opposite. Lots of fearful and cowardly enablers allowing the current state of affairs to continue. Honestly, these bitches will fist fight you over the idea of a black Superman, and quite a few turn their noses upside down over goddamn Miles Morales. But when given the actual opportunity to demonstrate the narrative that y'all claim, crickets.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it here.
Same.
Get out here. Be vocal. Have them yelling matches and disrespectful ass conversations with y'all's backwoods ass family members that keep selecting his name on ballots. Threaten them bitches. Not necessarily physically, but morally. Look, Bethany and Tad, we will be withdrawing Katie from swim classes because you are supporting a racist, hateful administration and we don't fuck with it, or however y'all gonna say it. How hard is that? Because again, y'all be real funky and disrespectful with the keyboard in your hand over some bullshit, but you can't have these kinds of conversations of substance with that folks that you actually know.
Mm-hmm.
White power my ass. That's it. That's all. You got anything else, Miss Lyric?
Nope.
Okay, Wi-Fi's up next.
Poor white people should know that they're voting against their best interests. Poor white people need to see the light, that voting for rich billionaires doesn't help them. They see the light. They know what they're doing. They know that they're voting against their interests. They know, and they don't care. They're angry and upset that their whiteness has not saved them from the doldrums of being poor, and they know in the depths of their poor white souls that they do not have the skills, the ambition, or the smarts to survive in a world that requires all of those things to not be poor. Let me tell you something right here, right now. Poor black people and poor people of color become disillusioned and, become jaded. That's it. Poor white people become domestic terrorists and mass shooters. This is why our efforts to build bridges, to build community, to reach across the aisle, to do all of those things fail time and time again, because we're dealing with a group of individuals who know that they have experienced generations of life-altering poverty as the result of actions from other white people who are wealthy and privileged. They know good and goddamn well that black people just got the right to vote less than 60 years ago. So it's not black people, and it's certainly not immigrants and people of color who are making the policy and legislative decisions that render poor white people poor. It's not black people and people of color making those policy decisions. It's other white people, privileged, college-educated white people who are making those decisions. And poor white people know this. Fundamentally, they know this. They are just that full of hate and insist upon directing their hate towards black people and towards people of color, because at their core, they're racist no matter what. That's what you have to understand about white supremacy and about many, 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 many white people in general. No matter how disenfranchised they may be on the basis of income, on the basis of lack of education, on the basis of disability, on the basis of neurodivergence, on the basis of LGBTQ status, whatever it is, they're still white, and they will still cling to that white privilege especially when they have no other privileges or systems of power with which to cling. That is why trying to build community and solidarity with many poor white people, especially in rural areas, falls short. Even when there are poor white people who see the vision, who see the light, and who try to rally their Caucasian brothers and sisters in arms, those poor white people who see the vision, they're vastly outnumbered, outgunned, outmanned by these other poor white folks who sit up there with generations of rural poverty and vote for someone like Donald Trump.
Why do you have roaches?
The why file.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Explaining the unexplained. We're answering why to the questions you want to know by taking your skeets over on Blue Sky at WRTR Radio. We take your emails at WRTRradio@gmail.com because this is a Why Files. Remember, the truth is out there. You first to me, mama.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and go. My wife comes from me.
Okay.
I'm curious to know why do people keep using law enforcement as a means to troll people?
What do you mean?
Like, why do people call CPS?
They did that hard.
Why do people get people's home swatted by the police and this, that, and the third? Like, why do people do that type of shit?
Honestly, because they can. Because God, I don't know. I can tell you the malicious reasons I think why. I can tell you the systemic reasons I think why, but ultimately, yeah, that's some bullshit. Like, real bullshit. They did that shit to Cardi.
They just did it to Nicki Minaj. That's why I asked.
Oh, really?
Yep. Her home was swatted by the police in the middle of the night for the third time.
Wow.
Trolls called and said that a woman was shot. I just feel like if y'all could do everything else, y'all should be able to trace the calls, and these people should be held responsible. You never hear that, though. It's always, my house was swatted and this, that, and the third. But okay, so what happens to those people who be playing on the line, though?
Ask Tasha K.
It's not cool.
It's not. Okay. This one comes from... Oh, I'm sorry. Why?
because the truth is out there. And if you play with me like that, I'm going to give them a reason to come to my motherfucking house.
Pretty much. All right, this one comes from Cletus from New Jersey. Why do employers act like an impressive resume means that you are, quote, overqualified for a position you directly applied for?
Mm.
I like this question because, yeah, employers definitely need to be read for that. Okay, so if I'm a person, let's say I have a full-time job, because I've run into this issue too. If I have a full-time job doing something else, and I go and apply for your job, I already knew when I applied for it, because I had to read the job description. I know what the requirements are.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm overqualified. Why? Right now, this job market is trash.
Yeah.
It's going to be trash, because it's going to be trash even more because you have thousands upon thousands out of work right now.
Yep.
There are going to be all kinds of people applying for all kinds of shit. And I've never liked the stipulation personally of being overqualified, because then that kind of makes me feel like I guess it lets me know how you run your company, because I see it even in some recent endeavors of mine where I go into a position or I go into a job that I've had all of this experience. It's like people that are there already almost feel, I don't know, they feel threatened because you know the job so well.
Yep.
And it's just like, I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to get a check. Like, that's what I'm here to do. Personally, I'm not. But maybe other people are looking to advance their career. And that's fine. But why should somebody's resume be like, as far as them being overqualified? I get it, underqualified. If I require a master's degree for, I don't know, therapy or something, like, it's, you come in with a high school degree, like, or diploma, I get that. But to say that somebody's overqualified for something, especially in this job market, I don't know why. Cletus from New Jersey.
I do. I know why. It's because they don't want the competition. If you're overqualified for the job, you can take their spot. That's how people think. It's not necessarily.
No, you're right.
It has to be true, but that's the way people think. Why would I hire somebody with all of this experience when that puts me in a position to have my position taken? That's the way people think.
That is so strange.
Of course, they're going to get somebody who's underqualified because.
Listen, there's
no way in hell. I've been here for 17 years. No way in hell they're going to promote this person to the job that I want. Okay. But you bring in this guy who has 17 years of experience and has done this, that, and the third with all these other companies. And of course.
That is such small thinking to me, because if I have my eyes set and I'm motivated to get a certain position, I'm going to get that position regardless to who comes in my way, because I know that I'm taking the necessary steps to get that position. Don't be threatened by me. That's like people that you be driving next to on the highway. You be sitting there, you'll go behind them. They be going slow, and as soon as you merge to the next lane to go ahead of them, they want to then speed up. Why the fuck are you speeding up only when you see somebody else about to advance past you? Why is that your motivation?
Exactly, because you're about to advance.
Why is that your motivation and not the fact that you want to actually advance? Like,
because
ask yourself some serious questions.
Because people only are comfortable when you're on their level or under their level. If you look like you're going to surpass them in anything in life, people get mad about that. And what I don't like about this mindset is because it's definitely used as a racial thing as well. When people say that, I've had it happen to me where people have said, "Oh, you're overly qualified," but then you bring this girl who's straight out of high school into the position that I applied for, and I know that I have more experience than her.
Work. Sorry, Cletus, but unfortunately, there's not much you can do out there in the job market except for aim higher. If my advice to you would be, if you see that narrative playing out, step back from that situation, because you already know it's going to be some fuck shit. Just walk away. That's stress that you really don't even need in your life if you are out here searching for a job. Because one of the things that you already got to worry about in any job that you start is stability.
Yep.
And if they already starting from jump with fuck shit, take your blessings and move on there, brother. Why? Because the truth is out there.
Exactly.
That wraps it up for this week's Y-Files. You know the socials, and News Make You Nauseous is up next.
If we are going to talk about efficiency and worry about some solar paneled whatevers, let's talk about the fact that as of March 30th, Trump's golfing has cost us approximately $26 million. And the last time I checked, we're not getting anything in return for that. So I will get back on my remarks, but I just wanted to point out that maybe we need to talk about the president and his golfing habits. In fact, he decided that he was going to golf as the markets were tanking. He decided he was going to golf instead of receiving 4 heroes who died serving this country. He has decided that he wanted to play games while the rest of us are really trying to make sure that we can serve the American people.
And now, say what? News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
These are some of the stories you might not read about in the New York Times, the Washington Post, or the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. You're up, Miss Lyric.
All right. Let's see where we're at. Now, this news story had me so fucked up because it just goes to show you that white privilege is still reigns supreme here in the United States, unfortunately.
For what reason? Yeah, y'all certainly ain't got nothing to back it up. Go ahead.
All right, so it doesn't say where they're from, so I'll just say what U.S. Army.
Say what?
Prosecutors have charged U.S. Army member Jordan Henning with the murder of his wife, Sergeant First Class Ashley Henning.
Wow.
He has been found guilty of first-degree manslaughter.
Wow.
He is a white man, and she was a black woman, just to say. All right, this tragedy occurred after Ashley's 37th birthday party. Footage captures the couple arguing as they were cleaning the home as the party ended. One of the children ran to the neighbor's house for help as the couple argued. The neighbor told police that Jordan put him in a headlock when he tried to mediate the situation, which forced him to call 911. That infuriated Jordan, and he decided to go to the extreme. As Ashley tried to stay calm and plot a way out of the home, Jordan grabbed a gun from upstairs and taunted her because of the neighbor's involvement. Ashley was heard begging him to be a man and put the gun down. Footage showed Jordan shooting her 4 times, reloading his gun, then returning to the kitchen to shoot her once more before spitting on her body.
No.
Jordan told attorneys that he was suffering from an extreme emotional disturbance and that his judgment was impaired. He claims that he was under extreme stress due to years of a toxic marriage. However, the jury found him guilty and he was later sentenced to 20 years in prison.
As he should be. Matter of fact, never mind. You knew where I was going.
Don't know why the charge is first-degree manslaughter, though. Like, why'd you try to make it sound like an accident? If you shoot somebody 4 fucking times, reload, then shoot them again, and then can proceed to spit on the body, that's not a fucking accident.
Exactly. It's all in the language of these lawsuits, which is why there are people like Jonathan Majors that get to skate by, because we're not actually looking at what these people are doing. That is what it is. I hate that shit too. But that's exactly what it is. It's all in the language. And I only remember, so do you remember last year where I had to do the jury case? I was on a jury where the language was like that. It was about voluntary versus involuntary manslaughter and all about, just intent. And it's how these laws and stuff are written that create that kind of a sketchy situation. But yeah. So this story is from over a year ago, but I want to tell you the story, and then I want to explain why it's relevant and nauseating to me, especially today. All right. Say what, Tampa, Florida?
Say what?
Oh, Lord. I had to be Florida.
According to WFLA, researchers have attributed a Florida man's battle with worsening migraines to tapeworm eggs found in his brain.
Shut up.
In a study that's now published in the American Journal of Case Reports, neurologists documented the case of a 52-year-old man who reported his chronic migraines gradually becoming more severe over a 4-month period. He didn't present with the common neurological symptoms like seizures, facial asymmetry, and like weakness or numbness, but a CT scan revealed that he had a cluster of cysts in his brain. It's not funny, but the imaging pointed a neurologist towards a possible lead, and I'm gonna try to pronounce this: neurocysticercosis.
Good grief.
The condition is a rare parasite infection of the brain that is strongly linked to pork consumption. According to Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, most neurocysticercosis patients in the U.S. are people who come from regions where the disease is common, including Latin America. So essentially, he got this illness from consuming undercooked pork, as in bacon. And right now, we have Donald Trump as president that, among other things, has cut programs like the CDC and the FDA that monitor the safety of these kinds of foods in the first place. And again, this is from undercooked meat, so perhaps another 5 or 10 minutes in the pan could have, changed this narrative. But I want to be very clear that certain shit you just simply can't just cook away.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why these programs are in place. That's why these measures are in place. And the thought of all of this has just drove my anxiety through the roof and made me quite nauseous, because we had these programs in place. And then you have people like Robert Kennedy out here telling people that the only way to vaccine against measles, or to, protect against measles, is to go out here and actually get it, until people start dropping dead. And then he goes, oh, well, I believe in the vaccination for measles. They roll the shit back after they've already caused harm.
Yeah.
If you want these and more nauseating news stories, give us a follow over me at Blue Sky. I am at MarcusSmoot. That is Marcus Smoot.
And I'm not skeeting nowhere and no time soon. So y'all can find me still on Facebook and Instagram, and also TikTok, and sometimes Snapchat under Lyric Bravado.
You can also follow the show over again on Blue Sky, WRTR Radio. So for Real Talk this week, we talking about BBL smells up next.
It's time to speak up. Did y'all catch the news in the Friday night news drop that today, April 11th, the State Department issued an internal memo to all of its employees, telling its employees that they are to report anything they see in the workplace that is unchristian. State Department employees are ordered to report anything they see that is unchristian. Now, I love Jesus with everything in me, but this No, this is what Christian nationalism is, people. I have been telling you for months. Anybody watch The Handmaid's Tale? Gilead? This is what's happening. There is now an instruction to people who work in the State Department of our government to report anything unchristian. This is not a drill. Put your boots on. Go love your neighbor.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. On WRTR, Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
So we're back. And like I said before, TikTok strikes again. This week via social media. Did y'all see the lady talking about BBLs? So apparently there's this lady that's gone viral on TikTok. And she was discussing how she had her BBL removed because her sit down win was was funky. And it is, well, I mean, both work. Anyways, it started this week-long debate, like most of these viral videos do on social media, back and forth about people talking about BBL win. And for me, this is my first time. I don't go outside. This is my first time hearing this bullshit. BBL win? Girl, what? Mm-hmm. So help me. Where are you with it, Lyric? Did you know this was a thing?
Yes, I did.
Have you smelled it?
No, I have not. Thank goodness for that, because I have a thing with that type of stuff.
Do you know anybody with a BBL that would have had the win?
I do.
Oh.
She probably got it, but I ain't gonna say that bitch's name. But I do know somebody with a disgusting diaper BBL too.
What do you mean diaper? Oh, you mean
that
when the
joint
joint
saggy,
kind of
that joint nasty? Like, yeah, ew.
Oh,
you built real childish.
Wow.
Because now you walking around looking like you got a permanent diaper on 24/7, and I know that BBL stain.
Okay.
So yes, that is a real thing.
All right. So for those of y'all, just for context, here I'm going to insert a part of what she said. This is part 3. You've watched it, right, Miss Lyric?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Part 3 on how I got my BBL surgically removed because my sit-down win was stinking real bad. So I deleted part 1 because there were so many people in the comments talking shit how y'all are doing now. So I deleted part 1 and I made part 2 because there was some people in the comments that wanted to know more. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the vagina or the beehole. It's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay? There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real. It's coming out of the incision. It fucking stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay? Now, my BBL been removed for the past 4 years. Only had it in for about a year until it was stinking so bad I couldn't take it no more. I don't know if y'all wanted me to get on here and say BBL smell good, but they fucking stink. Stay away from them.
So, thoughts on what she had to say as far as her getting hers taken out? Because, so she said, I don't know. It's led to all of this discussion about just the things that can happen. And one nurse broke it down really well. She talked about how in that particular area, you have so much going on. Mm-hmm. Not only have you had a surgery that is already comes with, a certain amount of, dirt and funk and stuff, everything. I mean, because at that point, you have pus draining out. That carries a stench. You got everything back there on top of the fact that you got a shit and your ass is sore and you're probably not going to clean as normally, as well as you normally would.
Mm-hmm. I had to come outside and talk about this because after what I just experienced, I'm traumatized. BBL smell is 100% real. I don't care what your mama say. I don't care what your friends say. I don't even care what your doctor say. BBL smell is real, and let me tell you why. And if you're wondering what it smells like broccoli. The broccoli that's been sitting in your pot with the top on for 2 days. We all know how that smells. Sour, funky, molded. Now, it's going to be some people that say, my BBL don't smell like that. I don't know where she get her information from. Take your hand and rub it back there and see if you smell the same thing that I'm smelling. Now, some BBLs have a soft, funky smell, like a musky smell. And then some BBLs have a loud smell, a smell like rotten flesh. But trust me, it's all the same smell. Now, if you're wondering how to get that funky smell up out of your skin, because yeah, it's sucked in them pores and it's deep within that skin. Take you a cup of vinegar, 3 tablespoons of Epsom salt, run you a bath of hot, steamy water, and sit in a tub for about 30 to 45 minutes. You're going to need one of them thick rags that you get from Amazon, the hotel style rags. I've told 2 friends about that, and trust me, it works. And I know I joke a lot, but this is not a joke. This is serious. Let's get that smell out the way because, baby, I can't take it no more. If y'all gonna do it, let's just do it, right? Okay?
And I always assume that sit down when people, because I have been around people that have had big foul sit down when. I'm not oblivious to that, but sit down when as a result of a BBL is something that I hadn't even considered because just wow. Okay.
Yeah, because you're having a surgery. You're having fat sucked out of one part of your body and then inserted in your ass. Yeah, you're gonna have some things, and then there's a process to it. A lot of people try to do the cheap way. They go overseas and these other countries because it's cheaper to do it, and cheaper does not mean better. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing I can say is the United States holds their doctors into higher standards, and they will snatch your fucking medical license if you keep fucking up, or if you do too much damage in a specific amount of time. Like, they don't play about that shit.
Well, they didn't before this administration.
Right. But you go overseas and you get your body done, like, what do you expect? There's so many stories about people who are dying on the table or a couple days after from getting BBLs done. And also, it's a process. You have to get lymphatic drainage massages when you get your body done. You have to. Surgery creates an environment of where toxins and bacteria can build in your body. You have to take the necessary steps to do what you need to do. And you and I both know that some people don't know how to fucking follow directions.
People don't know how to clean their ass normally, like just before a BBL. You don't know how. Exactly. Right. Y'all don't know how to clean your normal, small, basic ass. Then you go and get a much bigger ass to then not clean.
It's like people don't follow directions. You don't listen to the doctor's instructions. You just be having the surgery, and then 3 days later, you out bopping outside. You fucking off, and you doing all this wild shit right when you just had surgery. Like, no, you got to let your body heal. You got to take the specific precautions like you've been advised, and you have to get those massages. Now, I've watched a lot of girls who don't have the smell, and they've been vouched for, and this is because they followed their doctor's instructions and they did not cut corners. A doctor also spoke about this and basically said, if you are still having a BBL smell months after you've healed up and did this, that, and the third, you have an active infection.
Something else wrong, girl.
So why are you not like going to get that shit taken care of? You just you done got used to it, or like
okay. Well, the lady that originally posted this video that has sparked this conversation, she started getting all of this backlash from people.
I wasn't expecting my video to blow up like it did, but I have a lot of women angry with me. They are reporting me. They're commenting nasty things. I'm just about to delete everything and go about my business, because when I say this is crazy, it's like they removed the sound from my other video. I wasn't saying anything, but I guess I did not fit their narrative. They're not happy about my experience. That's pretty much what I was saying. They denied that. They said they're not putting my sound back up. So I'ma just... The crazy part is so many women pissed off at me. I don't even know who to start to block so they could start reporting me. They're just coming at a rapid pace. So I'm done, y'all. I'm just like, I didn't know people was going to get mad like this. I just thought I was sharing experience, but I'm done. This BBL trap don't play.
You know, there was people in the comments like, you said this and now, you know, people looking at me funny and that's not how it rolls and that's not how, you know, it really happens and bitch, you just dirty and
oh yeah, I know. I heard people was going off like to the point where she had to delete the video or something.
She did.
Like that.
It got heinous. It got heinous.
But here's the thing. People are allowed to speak about their experience. She didn't say, you know, this is what happens to everybody. She said that's what happened to her.
Exactly.
People really got to shut the fuck up and listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, yo. You got to chill.
I'm going to let y'all have that whole conversation. I mean, this is pivoted off into people talking about, like, people are using what doctors they use as a flex. Like, your BBL physician is now a flex online. Oh, I got this, and I'm gonna let y'all have all of that because it is a realm that I just.
I just have to say this. Can we normalize? Like, I'm not judging those who feel like they got to get a little nip tuck here and there and to make themselves feel more confident about their body. Girl, do what works for you and do whatever, because there's a lot of dudes who is getting plastic surgery nowadays too. Do whatever you do. But my thing is, work on your mental before you get these surgeries done, because a lot of y'all don't take that shit into consideration. Y'all just thinking that this doctor is going to go in here and fix me and I'm going to be this perfect being and this, that, and the third, and everybody's going to love me and this, that, and the third, and y'all still be miserable.
Maybe I should name this show BBL Smizzy.
I have no idea what my thing is. Let's normalize loving ourselves as how we are and getting, you know, the necessary mental help that we need before we take these drastic measures and try to change certain things about ourselves. Let's just make sure, you know, that our mental is in a good place, because you you already unhappy with your body, and now that you actually got it done, now look at you going through this bullshit.
I would agree. I would just say prioritize fixing the inner before you fix the outer.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, there is something to be said. I mean, you can want to enhance your body and there's nothing, you know, mentally, quote unquote, wrong with you. Just make sure that you are doing it for, you know, the right reasons, and not make sure that you're doing it because you literally want a bigger ass and not because you want a bigger ass to attract X, Y, and Z.
Here we go.
So you know, unpack that before maybe deciding that you want to, you know, go near a scalpel for any type of reason, especially out here with this, especially in 2025 today, where it is sketchy out here at best.
And stop cutting corners. If you actually do want to get a surgery, save up for a knowledgeable surgeon who you've researched. Stop going to Turkey and stop going to Colombia and all of these other places to get these surgeries on your body. You only have one life. Stop playing with it. So
Groupon BBLs.
Exactly. You thinking you're gonna get a good result? You paid $3,000 to get your butt done, girl. Your whole cheek is gonna cave in. The other one is gonna fall the fuck off. Yeah, that shit gonna eat your ass up. Stop playing with y'all lives out here like it's serious. If you're gonna do a surgery, save up for it and do your research. Stop going on Instagram and listening to these people talking about oh yeah, I got this, that, and the third. Down the line, oh, they did, but you done got your shit done 3 months prior. Because you don't listen to somebody on TikTok. Half of them people be scamming. You just do your research, man.
Oh, TikTok shop ass. Work.
Literally.
All right, so I guess we're going to get up out of here. All right, y'all. Thanks once again for joining us here for another week of shenanigans on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Tell a friend, then you can write in and tell that friend off through us.
I love when y'all do that.
Miss Lyric, thank you as always. And I guess we'll holler at y'all next week.
Yes, indeed. Bye.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's show featured work from TikTok creators Ashley the Baroness, Flint Wolf, Keke Ray Real, Alex Rosem _, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Jessica.McDonald005, K Montana 24, and Colette Boykins. In a world where our voices are being purposefully muffled, we're using our platform to help amplify your voices.